Hey, what's up, everybody? Judge with the Toe Talk Break Room. Things are going to be a little different than before. We have 7 subjects to go over, one being a question for you guys, or questions from you guys, per se. A couple of the things to go over. We couldn't be here today if it wasn't for you guys, and a special shout out to the guys over at Bucked Up. I've been an ambassador and been using Bucked Up products for well over a year. Since I've been using Bucked Up products, I personally have felt more energetic. I've been able to focus. I've been able to just get things done. There will be a link down in the comments or in the description. I'm not sure quite yet where it's been placed. But we will have an ad here, or not an ad, sorry, excuse me, a link. We got several different um, flavors, profiles, energy. We pretty much have anything and everything as far as energy goes that you could need. Whether it's need help waking up in the morning, whether it's help going to night, whether it's your multivitamins, pre-workout, energy drinks. I mean, there is a lot of stuff Bucked Up has to offer. And I'm not saying this just as a sales speech. I swear by Bucked Up. This isn't sponsored or anything like that. I'm an ambassador. I promote their product. I would not be putting my name on something if I didn't swear by it. I have, um, a couple different medical issues. I'm allergic to ginseng, a few other things like that. So with Bucked Up, I have quit every energy drink other than their products. Just to name off of a few, you can ask anybody that knows me. I used to go through a 12 or 24 pack of the Mountain Dew Kickstarts 3-4 days. There's only a couple other ones that I could drink that didn't have ginseng in them, but the Mountain Dew Kickstart was my go-to. You'll be hearing from Danny, as you can see here in a minute. He just switched over to Bucked Up. I think he's on his first tester, so to speak. um, we'll kind of get his idea of what he thinks so far. He's only on day one. I've been on Bucked Up for at least 9 months, somewhere around in there. I would not be putting my name on a brand if I didn't swear by it. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and get into it, and we'll get things started. We got a few new members um, than we did before, um, as well as we do have a new bot in the Discord that just kind of helps notify us when people leaves and when people comes back. So you might be hearing that periodically. Just so you guys are aware, like, hey, what the hell's that? That's what that is. Excuse me. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get back into this. We'll go ahead and let everybody introduce themselves, and we will go from there. What's up, everybody? We are live with the Toe Talk Break Room on YouTube. If I could get everybody to just take 2 seconds away from what they're doing and introduce themselves, I will be right back. All right. Sorry, guys. I had a phone call come in. Alaska Tow Girl, if I could get you to kind of introduce yourself, how long you've been in the industry, where you're at, and what you appreciate about the industry. I know this is your first time being here on the Tow Talk Break Room, but we'd love to get your opinion.
My name's Kenzie. I'm own Soaring Eagle Roadside Assistance in Anchorage, Alaska. Been in the industry pretty much most of my life. I'm a second generation tow truck operator. Growing up in the industry, I've learned to love how much of a family it is and how close knit we all are, even though we give each other crap all the time, but we're always there for each other when we need it.
Right. Y'all know Danny. He's always here. Hell, he's here more than I am. Danny, go ahead for the new viewers and go ahead and introduce yourself one more time, please, sir.
So my name's Danny. I'm out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. I have been in the towing industry pretty much my whole life, but I didn't start driving a tow truck until I was 19. So I've been driving on and off for about almost 6 years. I love it. It's a get up and go. You're always on your feet and everything. You never know what you're going to show up to, what kind of car you're going to go out on. I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world without starting up in the tow industry. It's something I like to do, and it sticks with you.
All right, looks like we had a few more people come in. Crazy Toe 69, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself one more time to the new viewers, just who you are, where you're from, and what you appreciate about the industry.
All right. Well, I'm Theo out of Hatfield, Pennsylvania. I currently run a 2021 International Rollback and a '07 International 12-ton wrecker. I've been doing this for over 7.5 years, and I actually enjoy helping people out with the communities and doing what I enjoy doing.
All right. Guys, just a quick question. Or not question, but a quick statement. I just got comments turned on, so if you commented previously till now, I apologize. I have not seen them. If you did comment, if you could repost your comment, that way I could see them, and we will get to your comments as soon as I can. Looks like we got It's Not Joe. Sir, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and introducing yourself, how long you've been in this industry, where you're from, and, what you appreciate about the industry we're in.
Hi, my name is Joe. I'm out of Hatfield, Pennsylvania. I work for Fred Beans Towing. Fred Beans Doylestown dealerships, family of dealerships. Been doing this roughly 4 years now. I drive a 19 International Rollback. Or not International Freightliner. I'm sorry. Wow, my head is fried.
Too much gaming tonight, sir. That's all right. We forgive you.
And not enough alcohol. Not enough beer.
God damn it, Demo.
The one thing I really appreciate is the hospitality I get. Not even for me helping people, but when I go to help somebody, their day is shitty. They're already having a rough time. Their day is just getting worse and worse. I've never had one negative review on me. I've always had a 100 score across the line for the last 4 or 5 years. Never had one bad. I maybe had one bad review, and even then, that was solved within a couple conversations, a couple deals, and all set to go. I mean, every time I go out to a call, people love me. I'm always friendly. People enjoy me. I have repetitive customers I've had for the last 3 years, so that's one thing I appreciate.
And Joe, one question, kind of off subject here. What are you by chance playing right now? What game, and what can you kind of tell us about what you do on your off time, since it looks like that's kind of currently what you've been doing?
Well, the parts that you don't see, I'm a big fisherman. I'm a skateboarder. I like cars. I'm a car guy. As you guys know on my screen, I'm JDM Subaru fanboy.
What are you currently playing?
I'm not playing currently anything right now. Currently,
Okay,
I'm just sitting.
What were you previously playing? Is what I meant.
I play 5M server. I play live roleplay server. We play GSSRP Grand 3 State roleplay. Come join it. One of the best servers there is. we got a couple guys right now, but we're growing to something bigger. I play Call of Duty. You guys can play with me. I'm a piece of shit, but I'm all right.
All right, thank you, sir. Hey, Tomater, your camera's not on. I don't know if you're ready or not. So I'll give you a few seconds here. If you're not available, then we'll go ahead and move on.
Mater is in the bathroom.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be available at this current moment. So we're going to go ahead and go on to our subjects at hand. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, everything that we're going to kind of go over is in the description. First thing we're going to go ahead and address pros and cons when using a wheel lift versus using a flatbed, and why. We're going to go ahead and go to Alaska Tow Girl.
So pros and cons of a wheel lift versus a rollback. The pros with the wheel lift is you can get in tighter spots, you have a better turn radius. Personally, depending on where you're at and what kind of conditions you're in, if you get in a tight spot, you can use the wheel. If you get like stuck in the mud or something, you can use the wheel lift to help work yourself out of it. Whereas on a rollback, it's a little bit trickier because then you get the mud and stuff on the bottom of the slides. But cons of wheel lift versus a rollback is with the wheel lifts, there's certain things you can tow. There's certain things that are a little harder to tow with the wheel lift. Not saying that it's impossible, it's just a little bit more time consuming and not necessarily DOT safe, so to speak. Since we all know that they're tight on their regulations.
All right. Let's go ahead. I think we're done here. Just a second here. I've lost my mind. All right, Crazy Toe, Theo. What can you give us about your pros and cons versus the other?
Pros and cons of wheel lift and flatbed?
Yeah.
Only good thing that I've seen.
Karen Magnet has joined the channel.
Only thing that I've really enjoyed with wheel lifts is that parking garages. They're a pain in the fucking ass. 7 feet tall and can't get a rollback in there. That's a pros for wheel lifts. Cons. Don't really. The only cons I can think of is setting up the dollies. They are a pain.
Yes, 100%, 110% on the dollies.
Because it's like with my record compared to the smaller records is I have an international 12-ton. It's more for medium duties and everything else. And trying to do a normal car wheel lift on that, I don't like doing it because I can bust out an
Ninja
oil
Hooker
pan.
has joined the channel.
An oil pan real easy.
Yeah. All right. Give me just a second. We're gonna go ahead and pause real quick. I do apologize.
Karen Magnet has left the channel.
Okay. Well, there goes him. Ninja Hooker, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and turning your camera on and introducing yourself, we are live on YouTube right now. If you could just get briefly, it looks like you're currently working. We'll give you a little bit to kind of make sure you're safe. Looks like you're in a phone mat. You got your earpiece in. So just give us a brief bio. Who you are, where you're based out of, how long you've been in the industry. Excuse me. And what's one thing you appreciate about the industry?
All right. Right now, or will we go back live?
Right
or are
now,
we still live?
We are live, sir.
Oh, okay. Hi, James from Portland, Oregon. I'm currently with Northwestern Towing. I've been in the industry for 4 or 5 years, something like that. One of the best things that I love about this industry is just the camaraderie, and no matter where we are in the country, or heck, even worldwide. We're all a family. We're all out here trying to make people's day better for the most part. We're all just trying to help each other out, each other safe.
All right. All right, Theo. Sorry to cut you off there. If you wouldn't mind going ahead and finishing, if you weren't finished.
Honestly, I forget what I was gonna say, so you can skip past me.
Can I comment on Ninja Hooker's comment right there?
Sure.
That's the one thing I love about this job. No matter what we do in this, no matter every time I pass another tow truck operator, whether it be rollback, wrecker, heavy, whatever it is, the hospital between drivers or operators anymore, dude, it's like the love of the passion of the job and the love and the passion of each other. And that's the one thing that you won't find with any other job in any other spot. And that's the thing about this job that makes it fucking totally worth it every time.
Oh yeah. And see, one of my biggest things that I appreciate being in this industry, my biggest thing is the brotherhood, the family. I mean, a couple of you guys might get mad at me for saying this. It wasn't an open invite, and I apologize for some of you. But we had a big get together with 4 or 5 of the Tow Brothers from several different states. We had I'm going to call him a retired operator. He came down from Alaska. He didn't come down specifically for the barbecue, so we're not that special. But he came out. Danny, which is here, him and his family came out. We had an operator that's one of my employees, one of my drivers. Him and his family came up. I mean, Danny, we had 20-ish people show up last night.
Roughly, close to almost 30.
I mean, I'm referring to families combined, not just operators, but operators and their families.
I would say 30 total.
I mean, yeah, and the best part about it is, it's only been the second time me and Danny has met in person.
Yeah.
But one thing that I have to say is the Tow Talk break room. I mean, as you guys can tell, we're on Discord. We're here. We're hanging out. We do giveaways. We talk. We post pictures. We're here for moral mental support. I am mind blown on this Discord server. When I first started this, and we'll kind of go off subject for a minute. When I first started this, I was live on TikTok. If you guys want to follow, it's Towman Judge on TikTok. But I was live, and I was just doing my job, showing people what we do, how we do it, and just talking. And it was the stupidest thing because we had somebody come in that they were being a troll and they were trying to piss me off and get a reaction out of me. But lucky for me, I have a wonderful moderation team, and they muted them and sent them on the way. Danny hopped in the live in a little chat bubble, and all he said was, "Hey, I need to go take my truck to the dump because I got to go dump the truck," because he kind of lives in a rural area. And, he doesn't get a garbage truck that drives by. He actually has to drive to the dump. And so when he said that, they're like, "Oh, well, hate speech. Sorry, have a nice day." And, it's like, I got banned, right then and there. Sorry, guys. My freaking phone is glitching
Tomater
out.
has left the channel.
All right. But, so I'm like, well, dude, so we can't talk anymore on TikTok. Dude, I'm starting this Discord server. Come in and hang out. I posted 1 or 2 videos on TikTok. And boom. I mean, as of right now, how many do we have in here? 75, 80 people? 85 people, or no, 78 people and 7 bots. So we have a total of 78 people. And this has only been up for what, Danny? 2-3 months, maybe?
Going on 3.
I mean, we've done 4 giveaways. I mean, it's just astonishing. And when Danny came down to get back into the original subject that I was coming on, it wasn't like Danny was a stranger. It wasn't like his family was a stranger. because the Tow Talk break room has made that bond that he's a brother. You know, I was giving him shit. You know, he was giving me shit right back. You know, this is a family, and like I can't remember who it was. I think it was Joe mentioned that we are a family. But to kind of get back on to our points here, who is next? Was that you, Joe? No, you already went. I'm so confused right now. All right. Well,
You can start off with Danny or Joe because I was the one that finished.
I think Joe finished his statement.
He doesn't
Did
say that
not?
a whole lot.
Do what?
Don't mind me. I'm gonna use my camera real quick for on-scene pictures.
No, you're totally fine, sir. I mean, honestly, you know, pros and cons of a wheel lift versus a flatbed. I run
Oh, that's
both.
always a fun one.
I own both.
Sean,
What?
Sean, I was the last one to speak about the pros and cons. I didn't hear anything from the other ones yet.
Well, I'll get back to them in just a second because I think it's
Yeah, they're
Danny,
not
then
special.
Joe, and then I'll continue. I mean, pros and cons. I own both. They're both a pain in the ass, but they both are easy. I might have to agree with Joe. Dollies are a bitch. End of story.
Especially when they're broken.
Yeah. Danny,
Yeah, you know, I
pros
can
and
run.
cons?
Or when you're in Alaska and you have shit ass snow.
Right. Danny,
Well, we're supposed to get snow sometime next week.
Danny, did you
Yo, where you
speak on behalf of pros and cons of flatbeds versus wheel lifts?
No.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Sorry, I lost my mind for 2 seconds here.
Back to like Toe Girl and Peter was saying. So the pros on running a wheel lift, yes, you can get in the tighter spots, parking garages and stuff like that, certain requirements and everything. Yes, dollies are a bitch to throw, but they come in handy. I mean, if for like example, running a wheel lift, you can put it under pretty much anything as long as you know the proper way to do it without tearing anything up more damage than what's been done. um, versus running a flatbed, yes, it's harder to get in tight places, but I mean, that's why we have snatch blocks and stuff. If you know how to run a flatbed compared to a boom truck or a rotator, anything like that, you can do pretty much the same thing with the flatbed. A flatbed you can put under a car that's slammed to the ground versus using a wheel lift. Getting stuck, I mean, yes, you have more weight on a flatbed than versus a 550 in the snow and stuff. Running, if you get stuck, like Alaska and them were saying, using that wheel lift, yeah, you risk getting mud and everything up in that slide, or you risk your boom end up freezing in the wintertime and a line busting. So, I mean, either way, they average out. It just depends on what the driver is comfortable running and knows their machinery and their equipment, how to use it.
All right. Moving on, Joe. Let's go ahead and let you finish what you're stating, sir.
No, so whenever I think about, you know, the whole thing of wrecker versus rollback, you can't just think about the towing aspect. You also got to think about the mechanical and tactical advantage of the winch cables, the positioning of your trucks, what you can and can't do. I'll bring back an example. Back in, I want to say it was September, we had all the hurricane type storms and tornadoes come through our area, and our one dealership got completely wiped out. We had cars that were 100, 200 feet back in the woods. I mean, with our simple rollback, you can't get that truck back there. It's hard, you can, but you're gonna end up using a lot more resource with that. I was able to get my record, and I can put up video and pictures of what we were doing, and we were at, it was more successful using our rollback with a double winch line, getting off, getting the car recovered versus just using a simple rollback, getting it out. The roll, we did combine both of them. That way, when it got to a certain point, we can just bed the car and get it out of there. But you got to think about, snowstorms, recoveries, even just simple accidents, even to get a car that's mangled, 2 vehicle accidents mangled up or a tractor trailer. Majority of the time, you want double winches, you want something more power, you want, you can run more stuff, like I said, you can't really just combine the power of, or you can't just combine, towing capabilities of rollback versus wrecker. You got to think about the recovery aspect, the mechanical advantage a wrecker has over a rollback, and per se, vice versa.
I'm gonna pause you just real quick. Let's see here. Ninja Hooker, if I could get you to do me a favor and just mute yourself, I'd greatly appreciate that.
Oh yeah, sorry about the beeper.
Actually, you know what? Never mind, because you're next up. Let's go ahead and get your opinion on this.
So, wrecker versus rollback. I believe that both have their place and time, but for a lot more urban tight areas, I feel like you can accomplish more with the short chassis wheel lift. But if you're going more for the recovery aspect, I still feel there's a lot more that you can get done in a single unit with a twin line wrecker. But things are going to be more difficult when it comes to dollies, when it comes to all-wheel drives, higher performance platforms. So it's all about teamwork. There's no one unit that's above the rest. It's you got to just work together. My preference is always going to be a wheel lift truck, just because that's what I'm comfortable in, and I'm able to do a lot more of the recoveries, get a little bit more creative, and I don't have to deal with that tail swing.
Right.
But as long as you work together and you at least have one of each in the fleet, and your operators know what they're doing with the equipment, and your dispatchers know what's going to be better for each style, and your dispatchers know to ask which questions. There's never a perfect one truck. I think it's just about teamwork, really.
All right. So do we got a good broad spectrum of the difference between a wheel lift versus a flatbed? Pros and cons, I'm going to say that they equal out. It really just depends on what you know, what the situation is, and what the job pretty much calls for. Personally, I have one of the lowest clearance vehicles. Excuse me, one of the low clearance wheel lifts that my state has to offer. There are a couple, but they're not as small as mine. Do I talk crap on my wrecker flatbed? Yes, all of them. But my wheel lift can go into things that are, under 6 or about 6 foot, give or take. I mean, if you have a parking structure that's under 6 foot, then you're screwed. Let's see here. Yes, sir.
But just, it all comes back to also knowing your area, knowing what you're capable of doing, and know what you can and can't do.
Exactly.
know the structures in your area. Per se in my area where I mainly prioritize, we have a lot of hospitals, a lot of parking garages. We have the courthouse, a lot of low clearance where simple rollback, even your simple 550 won't clear.
And see, I have an 05 Ford F350. Just it's short wheelbase. It's small. Like for instance, today, like we went out, there was a parking structure job. The insurance company called us out and says, hey, look, we need you to come get this done. Oh yeah, not a problem. They told us that the clearance was under 7 feet. We're like, okay, well, we average about 6'2", 6'3", somewhere around in there, with the light bar. Well, we get to this parking structure and we're like, what the hell is this? And how it has the little I don't even know what the hell they're called, but the little spacer things just above the door to say, hey, your clearance is this.
Clearance signs, yeah.
It didn't have it didn't have a number. It just says low clearance. It's like, well, you're helpful. And like we grabbed a tape measure, we measured it just to make sure, because we're here to help you and we'll do what we can to help you. So I always carry a tape measure just to be on the safe side. Dude, that parking structure was it was 5 foot. I think it was like 5'7", 5'8".
Majority of the time with building clearance and zones, most of the time when you see those low clearance signs, it's usually anything above, I want to say 6 foot is usually your low clearance.
Yeah, anything 6
And
foot
most of the time
under,
that's
I see.
And most of the time that's like antennas, light bars,
I mean,
typical stuff like that.
I never listen to the radio anyways, so I mean, if it rips off my antenna, as long as it doesn't do structure damage, I really don't care.
Well, I mean, it's for me, like, so my Freightliner, I have a CB antenna. That CB antenna adds an extra about 1.5 to 2 feet on top of my truck.
Right.
So if I hit that, that's attached to my mirror. That's pulling my mirror with it.
Yep.
It's just things to think about. There's some spots like car parks and stuff like that I can't even go under.
Yep.
Valet centers and stuff like that.
Right. All right.
Can I put one more?
Yes.
Can I put one more thing on how to do that? Because I've had parking garages that were low enough, none of my trucks can fit in. So we've come up with stuff of how I've done it with other companies is we have a pickup. Regular pickup truck, tow strap. If you can get it out of the parking lot, you can do it that way.
Right. And I mean, Gojacks. Gojacks can be a lifesaver, but they are another pain in the ass. Our job, everybody thinks all we do is just, pull cables and fucking, move levers. No, there is a lot of science, a lot of math. I mean, especially when you're doing wind check, there is a lot of math involved. So, if that's one thing, that's going to come into another subject later on. But if there's one thing you guys could do is not think our job's so easy. Moving on. So, subject number 2. This one's going to be a little bit longer subject because this is more personal, more detailed. Subject number 2 is the craziest stories that we have in the field. Again, guys, just make sure you remember that this is, a public broadcast, and it's also one of our server roles. I don't want any discussion about fatalities in any way, shape, or form. And that also includes critical car accidents. But other than that, feel free. But those are the 2 main things on this subject that I don't want to hear about or at all, period, whether it's broadcast or not, unless you come to me privately. Alaska Tow Girl, looks like you're up. Let me get one, crazy story that you have. But if we could, let's see if we can keep it under, let's say 5 minutes.
And so last winter here in Anchorage, Alaska, I was doing a wind shot with the owner of Eagle Towing here in Anchorage. Good guy, great work ethic, understands the industry through and through. But we were doing a winch out in Eagle River down in one of the back roads on the back side of it. And they were on a road. It was a Jeep Wrangler, one of those Willie Specials, or the Willie's Edition. Classic freaking Jeep. Guy slid down the road and off into the ravine when he was trying to go up the hill. So we get over there, we bring both of our trucks, because he was already over there. He asked for me because he had a rollback, I had a wheel lift truck at the time. So as to what I believe Joe was saying earlier, working with people and trying to make it work the best. But, so he positions his rollback at the top of the hill to stabilize. I get my wheel lift closer on mid-hill. Keep in mind I have my chains on because this is Alaska and icy roads. And so I hook to the back of the car to pull it up that way while he's winching it towards the front so we can just ease it on out. But so when we start winching, both of our trucks start sliding towards the ravine. His truck lands in the ravine. So then it took us another 2 hours to get his truck out. And then we wound up calling my cousin, I was actually running heavy wrecker for Vulcan at the time, and for another company at the time. And yeah, then we got everyone out, and it was a long night.
Sounds something similar to mine, but we'll get into mine later. We'll go ahead and I think we're moving on. Let's see who's next. Theo, sir.
So what is this one? The crazy story one?
Yes, sir.
Well, oh god, how long has it been? It's been almost 3 years for the craziest one that I had. Over here, Pennsylvania, we have some windy roads. We had a lady lose control over the car and went down off the road and launched her car 300 feet into the woods. I got called out originally for AAA, but at the time and moment, with the way that the situation of the vehicle was not covered through AAA. So I had to do everything with a rollback. At that company, I didn't have a wrecker at the time. All I had was rollbacks and equipment. So trying to look at it, trying to get it out. Not possible to get it out the way it went in because it's 300 feet. And she knocked down a bunch of trees all at the same time. And just to get her car out, I had to do a little maneuvering on it to drag it back 10 feet from where she was sitting and pull her vehicle 90 degrees to be able to fit it through a hole between two trees just big enough to fit her car. It took me a little over, rigging wise and everything else with the equipment that I had off the other trucks. It took me a little over 3 hours to do that recovery.
Damn.
Yes, and I actually have a YouTube video of it. I gotta find it so I can put it on the channel.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Glass is over here. Danny.
What?
What? How's that bucked up energy working out for you, buddy?
I'm almost done.
That's some good stuff, huh? How you feeling?
Good.
Gonna go run around the block a couple times?
Probably good.
Yeah, man. I told you, man. I swear by it. I wouldn't put my name on anything that did not work for me, and I wouldn't most certainly, get you guys to start it.
You're the one that got me addicted to it. The first time I was down there, you're like, "Here, try this."
Dude,
I I can't find it nowhere.
Hey, links in bio if you want to get some more ordered. Oh, so Danny, we're talking about crazy stories that we've had in the field. What do you got for us?
So the craziest one that I have, this would have been like 2 years ago. I was heading to Pocatello, so southbound on I-15. I was fully loaded with a dually on the back of my truck. I was in my day cab international. That's a 9 speed, and right there at the Y where it splits to go to Pocatello and Boise, I had a Jeep pass me in a whiteout blizzard and end up overcorrecting. He hit the guardrail in front of my truck and bounced off it, hit the other guardrail, bounced off it. So, long story short, he ended up overcorrecting and rolled in front of me off on the side into the embankment, landed right side up. I downshifted as quick as I could, fully loaded, make sure I didn't hit him, and came to a stop, got out, went out, checked up on him. He was good, shooken up and everything. And right down off the Y, we had a 8-car pile up with officers and everything down assisting with that. So I put the customer in my truck, let him get all warm, got him drinking stuff, got him all settled, wait for ambulance stuff show up, got him all checked out. He was good. Went and dropped my car off, and on my way back, it dropped probably a good 4 or 5 inches of snow by that time. And my dispatch calls me and is like, hey, I need you to turn around and go pick up that Jeep that you assisted with and get it out. So I turned around. It was about 80 yards out. Get her all hooked up and everything. And right right before I started winching it out, had another tow truck pull up, and he assisted me. When he was assisting me, his truck ended up pulling off in the embankment. It dragged his truck because the Jeep was so far compact in. I had to winch his truck out on top of doing my recovery afterwards.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
I think one of the craziest things I have actually had to me on this job was my actual first day. I just started towing. I was at Rob's Towing in Bristol. First morning, I walk in, tired as all hell. Just woke up, starting my day out. The second I walk in there, I'm handed this high-vis jacket, wearing nothing but black dicky pants and a pair of work boots that I just bought. We had, on the Pennsylvania Turnpike going west, right before the Bensalem interchange, we had a two tractor trailer, one motor, one sedan. The first tractor trailer slammed his brakes. He was doing around 65, 70. The tractor trailer behind him, and this is not a fatal, by the way. The tractor trailer behind him slammed him doing at least 50. Literally completely crunched in the whole front engine into the cab compartment. Literally missed the driver's legs by about a foot or two. And my whole first day, I'm sitting there. They hand me a broom the second I get there, start sweeping up. The two record guys are sitting there and they're pulling these trucks apart. The sedan literally missed the back of the second tractor trailer's tire, like back trailer by, he hit it, but it missed the driver by a couple inches. Like, that dude got so lucky. I just think one of the actual craziest things, just one of the craziest things, is like my first day, and that was like the second I got thrown into it was like the hardest day of my life. I never went home so tired in my life. And, they had the road shut down the whole day. I mean, it was back and forth to our 1 yard, just, dropping off parts of the truck, parts of trailers, parts of this hood, parts of this cab, just everything, just the oil and the diesel and just everything over the high. I think it was just walking into it my first day and seeing the amount of damage and chaotic that the police, fire, EMS, the drivers trying to complain about trying to get their stuff out and trying to figure out what they're doing while we're trying to do what we're doing. Plus, you got the morning rush hour, like right behind them, miles and miles of cars blocked up, people running up. And it was just like one of the craziest things I have ever seen in my life. I mean, it's just nothing to that, since that day it's compared to it. But it was just like, that was like the one thing that I came in and was just like, dude, this job, I love it. Like, it sucks seeing accidents. It sucks, seeing people in that aspect. But just that whole day, like, really opened my eyes to this job and how crazy and chaotic it really can be. I mean, it's just like one of the most insane things that I've ever felt in my life. But it's like I wouldn't change it. Not a thing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, things can happen in the blink of an eye, and that goes for everybody. Us operators, construction workers, even you guys out there on the road. Anything can happen. Ninja Hooker, are you available for a quick chat, or would you like to skip on this subject, sir?
I'm available. See where? Okay, yeah, I'm not 900. I'm good for a moment.
All right.
So most crazy one, huh?
Yes, sir. Just remember, we gotta, keep it appropriate for
Yeah,
viewers.
keep it. Yeah. So I think one of the most memorable ones was actually at the last company that I was working at. I'm not going to name them, but got a call from rotation out of area. Someone had stolen, this was back in 2018, I think, 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had stolen a brand new, under 10,000 mile Nissan Titan from a home game at a basketball game here in town. Led the police on about a 20-mile chase onto a local island out here, and had driven the car at such an excessive speed that he cleared about 70 feet of embankment straight into the river. We were on scene for about 6 hours with the 12-ton wrecker that I was in, our light duty twin line, and 2 medium duty flatbeds, using the flatbeds as anchor points for the front ends of the trucks, just so we could get enough height off the booms to clear all the embankments and everything. We had river patrol, sheriffs all involved, so we could get to and from the vehicle, dragging chains. It was pretty interesting. I've never had that 12-ton front end leave the ground and almost pick up a 650 flatbed before. That was mildly terrifying.
I can understand that.
That's a lot of load on those winches and that boom. I mean, it was just steady pull for about 4 or 5 hours, with a lot of time in between doing re-rigging. I mean, it's like you said, recovery is a lot of math and a lot of paying attention to the minor details. And oh boy, I was exhausted by the time we were done.
Oh yeah, I get that. So just a couple brief pause for a second here. Just kind of going over a few comments here. Joe, it looks like you are a very, very famous person here. Looks like we got A Spider 08 in the chat saying hi to you. Looks like we got Samuel Adams. Sam, what's up, buddy? For the viewers out there, Sam is getting ready to go live on Twitch. If you would, when we're done here, go over, check him out. Link is in the comments. He is trying to get to an affiliate. So if you guys, when we're done here, go over and check him out when he's live. Go subscribe. Go help this man out. He's been working hard getting his affiliate. But with that being said, thank you all for being here. I think we've gone over the craziest stories other than mine. My craziest stories I'd have to say is this would have been winter of 2019. Yes. So we got a call for a winch out up in Park City, Utah. Everybody should know where Park City, Utah is. It's on hundreds of movies. It's a pain in the ass area to be in. I don't recommend it, especially in the winter. But anyways, so what had happened was we got called for a winch out, and the the way Park City's set up, it's on a mountainside. So you got these townhomes that are built up on the side of the mountainside, and I mean you have probably a 30 to 40% grade for I'd say 100 feet maybe. Dead of winter, black ice it is a real thing. It's a pain in the ass. Um, but so we went out there and we decided that it's not going to be that bad. Looking at the pictures, looking at videos the customer sent us. Mind you, Park City is what, an hour or hour and a half away from where I'm at local. And so we went up there to go help him out. And at the time, I had the operations manager with my mobile mechanic company, A&N Automotive and Roadside. And we were trying to get this out. We had the service truck with the winch, the whole 9 yards. We were trying to get this out. They're like, oh, it's only caught on the curb. It's fine. All you got to do is just drag it back. You'll be all right. So we get up there where they say it's just up over a curb on a 5-foot drop. No. This damn thing was caught, luckily, on a retaining wall and a snowbank. Where the road comes down, it kind of comes down and then curves. But they literally, and might I add, on the other side of the retaining wall and the snowbank, it was a 35-foot drop, not 5. So we're dealing with black ice, we're dealing with a steep incline, and we're trying to get things taken care of. It for some reason was a pain in the ass. So the tow operators here, we all know what the slingshot is. And if you don't, you haven't done many recoveries, no offense. But so we ended up calling out a local tow operator from Park City. Why they couldn't do it in the first place, I don't know. But so what we ended up doing is we took the service truck about halfway up the hill. We put it in low or four low, and we just kind of held it there, trying to go up the hill, pulling the vehicle backwards. At the same time, the local tow operator, he ended up grabbing the rollback, getting the snatch block, and what we did is pretty much a slingshot, is where we had an anchor point for my truck and an anchor point from his truck, and we just kind of pulled it this way, sideways, up onto the road. Sam, I see that. I don't know how I messed up on that because I got it straight from your Twitch. If you could, go ahead and drop it down. I'm sorry I messed up on that. But yeah, it was kind of a scary situation. We had a couple scary close calls at that point, where the car about went off the edge, and yeah, I mean that's what I have to say. So looks like we have somebody's camera buffering. Looks like Ninja Hooker, he's busy. So this one was submitted by another tow operator here in the Discord. I'm not really sure what they mean by this, but it's here, so I guess we can go over it.
I'm back.
What should you do with customers present? I mean, I don't know that there's a difference between when customers are present or not.
No, you just do your job. Well, actually, I kind of have something to add to that one.
Yeah.
There are some methods, some things that may look a bit more abusive or be observed to be a bit rougher with one's vehicle, that get the job done quicker and don't actually cause harm to the vehicle. So if you have your customer with you, I tend to try and avoid those practices and just go for the more graceful approach, even if it takes longer. But if you know methods that are just quick, easy, and don't cause damage, you can take ease knowing that your customer is not going to judge you as much.
Right. I mean, I guess to kind of help go in on that, and thanks for kind of helping me understand what they meant by this, like what should you do with a customer present. I mean, one of the biggest things, and every one of you and then some is going to say 100% on this. One of the things you should do with customer present is you should obtain those keys the first thing you do as soon as you get out of that truck.
Oh, yeah.
You get those keys and you will eliminate. Do you want me to put it neutral for you? Yeah, sure. If you want to have your car roll down the hill and, crash into somebody else's car. I mean.
The infamous question of towing.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you should do with the customer present. Obtain the keys. First and foremost. The keys are the heart of the job. Once you have those keys in your possession, the customer can't be like, oh, by the way, it started, I don't need you no more. Or, here, let me go ahead and put it in that neutral for you. Or, hey, it's already in neutral. It's like, okay, thanks for, trying to kill me. I appreciate that. I understand that, customers want to help. I understand that. We appreciate you helping, but there's a difference between helping and annoying the fuck out of us. By the way, guys, I did update that link for Sam. Looks like I had the wrong link. That's my apologies. But on the same side, I'm going to blame Sam for not sending me the link when I asked for it. I did my best, Sam. Hopefully we can get you to affiliate, but don't be stealing our viewers until we're done here. Does anybody else have any, comments on what you should do with customers present? Because I mean that's all I can think of is, obtaining keys, obtaining a safety net with your customer. Make sure your customer is either in the truck or if they're going to be getting a ride from somebody else, make sure that they're with whoever they're going to be with. I mean, I personally, I don't have it with me, but next stream next Friday, I will post some pictures. I had a winch fell on me. Luckily, it fell prior to the car getting up on the bed, but it does happen. Say your customer wants to, I don't know, watch what you do. They want to know how the towing industry works or how you're going to tow your car. Make sure that they're off to the side or somewhere safe. I've seen it numerous times where I'm off duty and I'm going to get a drink, and there'd be a tow truck operator and their customers behind the disablement and behind or in front of the vehicle. Let me phrase this: in between the disablement and the vehicle they're leaving it. You get a winch fail, and there you go. Oh, look at that. Here, let me bring that up, Danny. Let me bring that up a little bit more. A little pixelated there, but you guys can kind of get the general idea. That is my winch gear on my truck. Looks like somebody's maybe posting it in the comments. I can't quite see it because it hasn't loaded yet.
No, I put that in there. It's a loading sign. Nothing's gonna pop up.
Oh, wow. I mean, something loaded over here, but it didn't load over here. What's going on, right? How we doing, sir? But again, does anybody else have anything to add of what you should do when a customer is present?
I have had some that are more curious about the towing industry. So a lot of times my customers will meet me at their drop off because it usually just goes to their houses because a lot of people up here are their own mechanic.
Right.
So the ones that are more curious about the towing industry, I have them get in the truck when I'm on the side of the road. If not, if we're in the parking lot or something, I'll explain the process as I'm doing it to them, where they're still somewhat safely away from the vehicle and the winch. Because I have had a winch snap as I was going up the vehicle and smacked my arm. That does not feel good.
Nope.
So having them away from the vehicle, having them away from the safe distance away from the truck, but still explain the process to them. That way, even the concerned ones, they're not gonna be like, "What are you doing? Oh, don't do that." It's like I'm just explain the process to them, make it understandable for them, make it.
I've noticed
So
that
they
a lot with more expensive vehicles. Your BMWs, your Mercedes,
Oh,
I can't believe
the
how
expensive one.
right. Just a couple shout outs here. David Wright, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you having here. Zeno, thank you as well. These guys have been longtime friends of mine. Let's see here. Sam, Zeno, and David Wright here. Joe had actually mentioned a 5M roleplay server, GSSRP. These guys are the guys you want to talk to come in and hang out with us. Guys, if you guys are still watching, do me a favor and drop a Discord link to GSSRP. I'm sure we might have a few other people that are watching here that might want to come out and hang out with us on our time off. I'd love to have you guys. If you guys want to, role play as a tow truck operator, I personally play. I've been in the community since the beginning. I left for a little bit due to personal reasons, but I'm back now. Public Works, we have a lot of different things for tow trucks. If you guys are here because you want to understand things, there's a lot of us that are in there that can show you. Granted, it's in game, things are a little different, but you can get the general idea of it. GSSRP. Hopefully, one of these fine gentlemen will post a link down in the comments. And also, before I get, link to Bucked Up is in the description. Go ahead and check us out there, Bucked Up. Like you said, it's a wonderful product. I swear by it. I haven't touched an energy drink since. I have no crash. I have no jitters, no fatigue. It's a fucking wonderful product. Let's see here. Who else do we have to discuss on what should you do with customer present? Joe, Hooker, Theo. Anybody have anything more to say on this topic before we move on?
I don't.
I like the point of safety first. For you and your customer. That's definitely a good thing to stress.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the one thing I've always seen when it comes to a display of character when it comes to a customer is your confidence. I mean, if you walk in and you're all slouched over and you're just like, yeah, whatever, that customer is gonna look at you like he doesn't know what he's doing, or he just doesn't care about his job and he doesn't care about my vehicle. I mean, my biggest thing with this job is every time you display a show of confidence and you could tell, you could tell the customer what you're doing and how you're doing it safely and confidently, that you'll never have a single issue with the customer ever. That's just my thing. I've always seen it. I swear by it every time.
Like, I'm having a bad memory tonight. I'm tired. I believe it was the Alaskan Tow Girl mentioned, explaining things to them as you're doing it makes your customer more confident in you. Exactly. So the company that I bought out, I started going through the comments, or not the comments, excuse me, the reviews from the previous owners. And I mean, you show up in pajamas to a job site, showing up in sandals or flip flops. I mean, get the hell out of the truck and go work fast food. You don't have confidence in yourself. You don't have the confidence in your customers, and you sure in the hell don't have confidence in the industry.
The funniest part of that is the company that.
Does that mean I can't show up in my pajamas on a PD call?
No. That actually, Theo, thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Because our subject number 5 is do's and don'ts when you show up for police calls.
What Theo did, don't do that.
What Theo did,
Yeah.
don't do that.
I actually have one thing to add for the customers portion.
Okay,
Real quick.
when
I just thought
customers
about
are
it.
present, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
One other thing
So-
on the topic that we were just on. When you have a customer
Hey,
present,
hold on just a second, Danny. I think Hooker had something.
Yeah.
Write it down because
So-
we'll know you forget.
Nice. I used to be a smoker. I work with a couple of smokers. I vape currently. And one thing
Hold
I've
on,
definitely
buddy.
noticed is you don't know if a customer is a smoker or a non-smoker. And it's just more respectful to just save the cigarette for when you're away from the customer, when you're away from the customer's car. Regardless of whether you choose to smoke in your tow truck when you don't have customers, just save it for later. You can wait 10, 15, 20 minutes. If you have to step away, you have to step away. But, that's going to reflect on your and your company's image
And
if you're just smoking in someone's car.
Now, what if it's like 150 miles tow and you're stuck with the
see-
customer?
See, with that, I will always. I mean, I don't smoke. I haven't smoked a day in my life, but I do
I'm
vape.
only kidding there.
But so I mean, with that, say you're on a stressful job, or you do have that 150-mile tow. Talk to the customer, communicate with that customer. If say you're on the side of the highway, rush hour traffic zooming past you, maybe there's a close call, anxiety through the roof, whatever the case may be, you need, that intake. Talk to your customer, say, hey, I need to stop at the gas station. If you need to get a drink, you'll use the facilities, whatever you need to do. But if you wouldn't mind, I need to take a break. I need to smoke. We're going to pull over here to X, Y, and Z gas station. I'm going to stop for a few minutes and then we can get back on the road. I understand you're in a hurry, but I apologize for the inconvenience. I need to stop.
I mean, it never hurts to ask, but it's better to ask than to assume.
Communication between you and the customer is key.
Do what?
Communication between you and the customer is the key to a good reputation.
I mean, it is.
Exactly.
I mean, especially if you're slammed, call your customer. Say, hey, look, as soon as that call comes in, and you give your dispatcher, say an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever the case may be, call your customer as soon as you get that dispatch to you. Call your customer and say, hey, look, I hope you understand. Things are busy right now. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I am about an hour and a half out. If things change, I will call you and notify you. But as of right now, this is where I'm sitting at. Whatever the case is, communicate that. How long you're going to be there, what you're doing, how you're doing it, things like that. If the customer's being a real dick, and I'm an asshole, I am blunt, I'm honest. If the customer's being an asshole, I'm doing my job. I'm minding my business. They're hiring. Do you want a job? I mean, I'll be an asshole to you if you're going to be an asshole to me. I mean, what are they going to do? Yeah, honestly, what is that customer going to do? Never use my services again? Well, good riddance. I don't want an asshole to serve. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Anything else before we move on?
Make sure you shower. Customers don't like a smelly operator.
Yes.
Good presentation. Key.
Clean the trucks. Mic drop. And with that, even though I don't think he can hear us, sir, get a shirt on. We don't want to see that. This is, PG-13 at minimum.
He is
with
born
that
to be
is
Hooker.
clean trucks. Last thing you want to do is be on the side of the freeway, have a customer go get in your truck, and you got 2-day-old McDonald's sitting on the dash. Or you got paperwork scattered everywhere, and you have to pick up that paperwork. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me clear this out for you. Think of it this way. I mean, think of your customer as a first date, a first impression, whatever the case may be. Would you go pick up your hot date for the first time to go out to, an expensive restaurant with garbage all over? I wouldn't. I mean, if that's you, you
Different
do,
when you're
you
married, I
do, but that's not me. Unfortunately, guys, we are running out of time on that subject, so we are going to have to move on. Theo, we're going to start with you, sir. Don't let me forget to come back to the Alaska Tow Girl. Theo, do's and don'ts of showing up to a police call.
Yes. Back to what I said earlier. Yes, I've had showed up to a PD call in PJs. You know what? Me and the boss did it. Doesn't matter. Now the biggest don't that my company really requires is no smoking. We've had guys smoke on PD calls, and there's nothing more that will piss a cop off when you're trying to clean up the roadway and you're smoking and there's gasoline on the floor.
Yep.
I mean, on the ground. I've worked for multiple companies where multiple drivers have been kicked off PD scenes because of that.
You know, I actually had one kind of going into that, but a different subject. I went on, and in fact, Alaska Tow Girl, we were working for the same company at that time. We went to a PD call. There was 4 involved, and the other company showed up. And I shit you not, this stupid motherfucker rolled up and lit up a fucking joint on a PD call. Might I add?
Come out too.
Yeah, like I said, that was one that you were on there too.
Was
I
that you,
remember that
Alaska? Was that you who rolled the blunt?
No, it was a guy that I used to work with at a different company, actually.
But no, like I shit you not, this guy, and might I add, we are in Utah, non-recreational. It's 100% medicinal. You know, there is a lot of shit that, holy hell. But that guy, I mean, the cop walked up to me and he's like, "Hey, we just kicked that guy off the scene. He's actually probably going to jail. Do you guys have another truck to come get this car?" Yeah, I do. We're actually going to go ahead and back up Alaska Tow Girl. Do's and don'ts of showing up to a police call.
So be courteous to the officers, but don't let them push you around. Don't let them rush you. Make sure you do your job safely, but be courteous to the officers and to the traffic around you. Yes, there's times where you're gonna have to block traffic, and some of the officers are not gonna appreciate it. But explain to them why you have to block traffic. And sometimes they don't like it. They don't want you to, and sometimes you just have to figure out another way. It might take you a little bit longer, but ultimately, we need that good reputation between PD and tow ops. That way, we can keep doing our job safely.
Come on.
Because
Right.
at the end of the day, we all.
Sorry, apparently my puppy wants attention. All right, well, Danny is MIA. Joe, let's go ahead and move on to you.
The one thing I know a cop hates is when you just fly in like a bat out of hell and start putting your hands on shit and just start doing shit. Even though when you get there, most of the time you get there, it's your scene. Always ask PDA, hey, is it cool if I touch this? Because you don't know what you're walking into. You don't know if it's a crime scene. You don't know what's going on in the background. You always want to get that clearance before you do anything. I've had accidents back when I was working on the turnpike. You just walk up, even though they call you, and usually when they call you, they're ready for you to come get the vehicle and start clearing these lanes up or getting everything cleaned up. These cops hate it when you just walk in and just start taking over and doing shit. You just always want to get that little bit of permission. Yeah, a little bit of an okay to make sure you're good to go on what you need to do. I mean, it's just I get you want to get in, get a job, and get it done, but you gotta make sure that you're clear to go, or else you're just gonna fuck everything.
And I mean, with that, as long as my dog didn't rip my headset out, with that, exactly. Don't fly up on a scene. Yes, when you get there and the officer gives you the scene, it does become yours. But don't roll up on the scene and think you're king shit and you're going to get this done faster and better and you've been doing this for 30 years and you know what you're doing and all this other shit. If you show up to a call hauling ass, you just back up, get it done, not say a word to the cop until you're already hooked up. Well, guess what? There goes evidence. Crime scene. Accident, DWI, whatever the case is. all that evidence can be thrown out, and you just let somebody that decided to make poor decisions walk out and leave. Ninja.
Technically, you can be charged of interference at that point too.
Yes, you
That can
can.
become a criminal offense. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, Ninja, let's go ahead and talk to you for a minute.
So, at least for my region, because I know some things will change region to region, get on scene, check in with the officers, they give you the green light, clear the scene as quick as possible, as safe as possible. Don't stand there and dilly-dally. Don't, make an ass out of yourself. The cops just want to be off the road onto the next assignment, because over here, pardon me, they're stretched thin and they're at a high pace. They get stuff done. So as long as they're good to go, they're done inventorying evidence, everything. Just be on your A game. Get in, get out. Make sure you have your grease sweep. Don't show up with no way to clean up the accident scene, because that'll sure piss them off.
I'll be right back, Danny. After Ninja's done, go ahead and talk on the subject of do's and don'ts when showing up to a police call. I will be right back.
And just be as professional as you possibly can. Officers, that's all they're really asking of us. Get in, do our job, get out. Professional while doing it. So, yeah, just don't act a fool, basically. And on to you, Mr. Denny. Oh, Danny!
All right.
Danny, your turn.
Danny boy.
First to Danny.
Yes.
Your turn.
There's
sir.
Danny.
Do's and don'ts showing up on a police call. Start off with don'ts. When pulling up to a police call, a couple of you guys already went over with on it. Don't just jump out of your truck and lower your bed and stuff like that and start loading up the car. Find out where the officers are at on the scene. If they're good with all their paperwork and done what they need to be doing first. Dues when showing up to a police call. If one of the officers come up and ask you something, ask them if they need any assistance with helping guide traffic or anything like that before getting into the situation what you showed up for.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm making a couple edits here. Just trying to get some things situated on the hosting side. But I think we're ultimately good over here. So
showing up on scene.
What's that?
One more thing the do's and don'ts is showing up on scene is actually when I used to drive tow truck down in South Dakota. This was actually a big thing that was an issue. Apparently, is there was a lot of companies that the drivers, when they showed up on scene, were not wearing their safety gear. We're not wearing reflective.
Oh yeah.
We're not using lights. Make sure you are using all your safety gear. Make sure you are in reflectives. That way, not only the police can notice you, but ultimately the drivers on the road. Because if they can't notice you because you're wearing a freaking black hoodie or something, you blend in with the road. They're not going to notice you. They're not going to watch out for you.
Okay, so on that behalf, okay, some companies, I can't remember who on here, which company it is. Their uniform is black. They don't have no reflector or anything like that, and the company won't provide for it.
Yep.
Then what?
Unfortunately, I actually had a situation like this myself when I was running for Atomic Towing, and actually when I first started with Citywide, back before Sean bought it. They didn't provide any safety gear or anything, so unfortunately, I had to go to Walmart and go buy a fucking freaking $5 vest. Just a reflective vest will get you a lot safer than just wearing a shirt. And actually, a lot of police departments actually prefer you to wear safety vests or require it per rotation rules. So if the
So it's
company
mandatory.
provide it, then you might just have to shell out of pocket $5-10 just to make sure you get it home safe.
You know,
I mean,
and to kind of go in with that, sorry to interrupt you guys. As far as safety equipment in my crew, you guys are my business. You guys are number one in my company. If I have to spend, a couple $100 to make sure you have the shit you need, you can. Most of you guys knows what this is. This is a guardian angel that I just threw at you. Every single one of my drivers gets one of these as they start shift. Just so you guys are aware, just a quick announcement. For those of you, when we end here, that want to go over and watch Sam, he will be going live here shortly. Link is pinned in the comments. Just hang out here as long as you like, and then go ahead and hop over to Twitch. He'd love to have you there. Even if you hop over there, subscribe to him, hop back over here, open him up in a new tab, whatever you can do to help him out. Like I said, he's trying to get to affiliate. The more you can do for him, the better. Sam has been a long-time friend for me, or of mine. Let me rephrase that. I'm tired. And Sam has honestly helped me through a lot of stuff. So if I can help him out with one thing and get him to affiliate on Twitch, you guys would be not only doing him a favor, but you'd also be doing me a favor.
You better be good, Sam. I'm watching you.
Let's see here. We got, yes, thank you, Theo, for posting that down there. If you guys have any questions at all for us operators, we do have an open section here in just a few minutes. Post your comments. Keep going. Let's get these questions going. A lot of these questions come from you guys. If you guys don't post any comments with questions, we don't have anything to go over. Your questions help us bring up new subjects. Continuing on. Things that the community can do for us operators to make our lives easier. I'm going to say the number one thing. Give us your key when we get there. You can help us out a whole lot just by, here's my key. I'll let you have at it. Thank you. Excuse me. I apologize. Another thing like that, another thing with that on my behalf, tips of appreciation. And I say that as any sort of tip. Have a better day. I appreciate you, make sure you eat something. Cash tips are always nice, but anything out of the generosity of your heart makes our day better. I mean, I had an elderly couple a couple weeks ago that they gave me a can of soda. You know what? That can of soda saved me. I'm hypoglycemic. I was busy. I ran out of soda. I ran out of stuff to keep my sugar up. And that can of soda was sitting right there. I'm like, hell yeah. That couple, I'm going to say, saved my life in a way. It's not required, but it does help us keep going. We're going to go ahead and go back in order to the Alaskan Tow Girl. Go ahead. What can the community do for you to help you out?
Of course, the big one, slow down, give us this lane, make it safer for us to work, give us a little bit of space to do our jobs. A lot of times working with, honestly, not even as much space as a laptop. A lot of times we're right on that white line.
That white line is life or death for us.
And if we hear the rumble strips don't mean wake up. It means run like hell for us.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we want to go home. We have families of our own. We have families we want to get back to. We have friends we want to talk to.
We have
Just help
talk
us get
show
home.
hosts that need to, go live once a week. I laugh about it, but honestly, it is a serious subject, guys. I'm sorry, I have to throw humor into that, but that is a number one.
We always gotta have some
humor.
Hey, you gotta make your own
the
entertainment
humor.
sometimes.
Yeah.
The humor is what makes this job a little more honorable sometimes.
I'm gonna drop mine down to number 2. You give us a key. That's number 2. Number 1, if you're seeing those, white, orange, amber, I mean, hell, I've seen people have green lights. If you see any flashing lights at all, period, on the side of the road, on the side of the highway, whatever the hell the case may be, slow down and move over.
Having a generosity thing, that's the law, man. Like that could literally affect your license and your whole life. You not doing that.
I was just getting into that. Not only is it respect to us and it can make our job a little bit easier, it's also a matter of you. You hit our tow truck doing 75, 80 miles an hour. What's that gonna what's that gonna do to you? I'm not gonna say it. Nobody else is here gonna say it. What's that gonna do to you as the viewer? You hit our truck at 70 miles an hour. You end up critically injuring or killing one of us. What's that going to do for you? Take 5 milliseconds out of your day, slow down 10, 15 miles under the speed limit, get over as far as you can, pass us, and then continue on with your day. You're not going to get anywhere any faster by causing an accident. Crazy Toe Theo, your camera has went complete black, sir. I don't know if you're aware.
I am aware of it. I don't know what's going on. I think it's technical difficulties right now.
All right.
Sign out. Not sign up.
I can see Theo.
Back into it. I can't.
Anyways, so Theo, moving on. What is something the community can do for you? Maybe something we haven't touched on.
Jeez. Basically, with what you and asked Alaska Tow Girls, pretty much is what I go for. Because our jobs are not easy on a daily basis.
It's a hard life.
It is.
It's a hard life
for us.
I had to. I apologize.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Danny, something we haven't touched on.
Honestly, one of the things that I've seen for places that I've gone driving tow truck is like fast food places and stuff like that. They close their doors at a certain time, and our trucks are too big to go through the drive-through. And if we're running long hauls or something throughout the night, I mean, it would be nice, like every so often, to be able to go through a drive-through if the lobby's closed to get food.
Walking, you mean? Like be able to walk up through a drive-through? Yeah. And that goes for semi-drivers too.
Yeah, because I mean, even some of the semi-drivers, there's certain places they can stop. Yeah, their truck will fit through on some of them, but I mean, most of these drive-throughs and stuff can't even go through. And even if they call in their order, they're like, "Sorry, we can't bring it out to you" or anything like that.
Yeah, because of the whole no contact.
Yeah, and it's getting ridiculous with this whole COVID thing. I mean, how do you expect like the tow operators and the semi drivers and stuff to get your guys' product or stuff to your stores and everything so your family can eat if most drivers can't even get a meal for ourselves to have our body, how to put it, somewhat full and everything, where we're not lacking on nutrition or anything like that behind the wheel.
Yep.
I mean, that's one of the things that would help out if some of these drive-throughs and stuff could make their drive-throughs a little bit bigger for our bigger trucks.
Yeah. Joe.
What was the question? I apologize. It was what
What
I don't know, man. Just yeah,
what
I
can the
got it.
community do for you?
I think what you said at the beginning was the generosity. I mean, I think that's the big thing that kind of makes. Wow, my mind just went. But
Huh?
I think the generosity thing can make the whole job the whole better. I mean,
Yeah, 100%.
I had one I rolled up on coming into one of my morning shifts on a weekend. I had a Saturday call. Lady broke down the ramp coming off of 611 in Doylestown. I mean, I was gonna help her out no matter what, if it was in my car or the truck or something like that. But I towed her car. She had AAA, so I was able to call and get her, get her car towed for her and everything like that. And not even 2 hours later, she posted in the Doylestown neighborhood page, and the truck, me, my service, the police, Doylestown, my CEO saw that. It wasn't even just a thing of just making my job feel better, but that made me feel better as an operator, as a person, as a human being. It just made my day that all much better. It just made it feel better, made the whole job and the whole day just a lot better than it should have been. And I'm just grateful for that aspect of it.
Yeah. Ninja, I see you're cleaning your truck. Glad you're
Ooh,
you're touching on one of our key points from earlier. Prime
you missed a
example
spot.
right there. You missed a spot, he says.
Oh, I've missed a lot of spots so far.
Oh, so
Um,
sir, what can the community do for you to help your job or your day or your life better, easier, etc.?
oh, there's a couple of things. Personally, I think communication is the key. If you talk to, one of our dispatchers, or if we're talking to you on the phone, don't try and hide details. Let us know what's actually going on, and try and be as specific as possible. Because, if you tell me you need a tow and you think there's something wrong, and I show up and you're like, oh, yeah, I've got 2 flat tires. Well, might have been safer for a flatbed instead of setting dollies on the freeway. Just little tiny details really make the difference in our days and our safety sometimes, so we know what equipment to send. And then the other thing too is being a tow truck driver, sometimes it can be a pretty lonely job. Because, I mean, we're in the truck all day long. We may not have a whole lot of people to talk to. And, if you're riding along with us, maybe, whoop, there goes the pressure washer. Maybe ask a couple questions, or, shoot the breeze if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable and you're not a big talker, I get it. But, I personally, I enjoy that little bit of interaction, that little bit of happiness in my day. Even if it's just venting.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I mean, you're
just
you're in a
give
stressful
me.
situation. We're here to help you. You might as well help them that one step further and say, we understand that this is a difficult situation. If you'd like to talk about it, we might be able to help you prevent this happening in the future. I don't know.
And that's how you
Exactly.
build a customer for life. That's how you build a customer relationship, a working aspect and a friendly aspect.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel at least some sort of conversation is better than just sitting in silence for 20 miles while you stare at your phone flipping through TikTok. I'm right here, man.
yeah. I mean, there's a difference between a 1 mile tow and a 20-mile tow. I mean,
Oh yeah.
with us, if you're not in the vehicle, say we're coming to you, or it's an unoccupied tow, I mean, we got music we can listen to. For
Hey, that's totally it.
some of us, we throw our phone up in the phone mat and we come here to Discord with these fine people and we start shooting shit with these guys. But out of respect for you, We don't do that. We don't post our phone up there. We don't talk to other people. We're here for you. Have some communication with us. I'm not saying, find a cute tow truck operator and, scoop one up, although I do know a couple.
I mean, I know I'm cute, but with my significant other being my dispatcher, that might end ugly.
Yeah, that's why I said a single tow operator.
Alaska understands.
Like me here. Applications
Oh.
not available.
Sometimes you just gotta give the good old tee.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you're married. Knock it off.
But and then
Married, so what?
I
What?
really like that idea, just that common generosity, that common, maybe just a little bit like a review. Let us know how we're doing, even if it's not to a company page. Even if it's not a monetary.
Right. And to maybe add to this subject, what would be a good icebreaker between you and the customer?
You
I mean,
drink
the
beer?
only thing you really know about your customer, and the only thing your customer really knows about you is they're broke down, and you're the tow operator coming to save them. What can be a good icebreaker to break that silence, going that 20, 30, 150, 275-mile tow that can keep the job moving? I mean, I had one, it was literally maybe 2 or 3 weeks after I bought the company. We had to go pick somebody up in Green River, Utah, and we had to take them to Las Vegas, Nevada. Lucky for me that it was another tow operator's family member that we were towing, so we had that common interest of I do towing, his son did towing or does towing. He's broke down, certain things like that, and so that experience for the, what was it, 9 hours I think it was, or whatever the hell the long drive was. Maybe it was 6. I can't remember. But just the common, bullshit. I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, even with technical difficulties. Excuse me. We ended up blowing a tire. We ended up hitting some sort of shrapnel on the side of the road, and it took out the tire, and even with the delay and all the other things, I mean, the guy still tipped pretty well, not in, like I say, a financial aspect, because I'm not going to talk about that at all, but he did give us a tip of appreciation. He invited us into his home because, I mean, we're a couple 100 miles away from home. He offered us lunch. He offered us, a drink. I want to hear from you guys as well as the viewers. It looks like we have 6 people watching currently.
I mean,
I
come
wanna
on, man.
know
Like
from
Theo had some random guy
all
let
of
him
you
shoot off
guys.
a cannon for towing. Like that was ridiculous.
Wait, what was that one?
What?
When you had that one guy who let you shoot off his cannon.
Oh,
Dude,
yes.
like, dude, that was insane.
But I mean, I want to hear from everybody, and this is going to bring us into our next segment. Everybody in the chat and everybody in here, I want to hear your point of view on this. What is a good icebreaker? That you don't know a whole lot about the customer. I mean, sure, if you want to be a creepy stalker, go through their Facebook and go, oh, so, I see you own a cat. And I mean, as we seen earlier, Theo, he has a cat. It's like, hey, I noticed on Facebook you have a cat. Hey, I have a cat too. My cat's named so-and-so. That's kind of creepy, What would be a good icebreaker that isn't, hey, this guy's fucking creepy stalker, get me the fuck out of his truck, versus, I'm going to use Theo as an example because it looks like he's playing a video game and I'm going to pick on him.
No, I'm on Facebook.
That's even worse.
Even worse.
What is a good icebreaker for you and your customer? And customers, you and the tow operator. Like, what is a good icebreaker when you're on a long road? road trip. When you're in your personal vehicle, you think 20 miles ain't nothing. But when you're in the truck with a complete stranger, 20 miles is something. What can we do? What is an icebreaker we could use or you could use to break that ice on that 20, 30-mile tow?
I don't know, because I get a lot of people, like, when I'm picking their cars up and everything else, of asking me how long I've been doing my job and everything else. And then it normally just rolls downhill like that and it goes to a different conversation. Because it's like I get a lot of people that, for example, the other day I had a young girl who's 2020 Traverse completely died on her. And I picked her up. We were talking about my job and everything else, because she's broke down in the middle of 313. It's a dark roadway, so it's a thing of how I do it is like, yeah, people ask me questions all the time, and then normally we just go on with different conversations throughout the trips.
Arthur_PDX Hooker has joined the channel.
Hey, Arthur.
Sorry, my coworker just realized we were live.
You're about, let's see here. You're about 2 hours late, sir.
Has it really been 2 hours?
Just so you're aware.
It's been 2 hours.
Yes. We've been live. Well, let me rephrase that. We've been live for an hour and 41 minutes because of the delay with the streaming software. And I did not know you guys worked together. Did anybody else know that?
No.
All right, me and Craig live together.
Well, I know you guys live together, but these two, what the?
What the?
Arthur_PDX Hooker has left the channel.
He's having
PDX Hooker has joined the channel.
Either join or leave. I'm getting tired of this bot telling me who's entering and who's leaving.
Hold on. Arthur and Ninja, if you two are going to be together, just use one camera.
Just share.
Yeah. Or walk away.
I didn't even know you all fucking worked together. Oh, hell. But anyway, so current subject and final subject. What is a good icebreaker between you and your customer?
I think Mr. Personality should answer that one.
As of right now, I'm also going to bring this into kind of the end of our live stream. We got about 15 minutes left, 16, give or take. We're going to go ahead and just open this up to a general discussion. So you guys that are in chat, looks like we have 7 people watching. We have 7 people here, including myself. Excuse me once again. But I want to know, what is a good icebreaker? My thought maybe is when you get up to the job site, maybe introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Judge. I'm going to be your tow operator today. Looks like you have a flat tire. Not a problem at all. We're going to do A, B, and C. I've been doing this for, my entire life, but I've been doing it professionally since I was 16. We're going to go ahead and get you taken care of. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Just a simple introduction, I think, is a fantastic icebreaker. But I want to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
I want to hear from you guys. I want to know your guys' good icebreakers. I really do.
It kind of just depends on the situation. My default, if I'm not sure on what kind of person I'm picking up, if I talk to them on the phone, is, hey, nice to meet you. My name is James. Wish it was under better circumstances, but we're going to get this dealt with. Hopefully we can make your day a little bit better.
Right.
And that usually leads into a conversation about, what they were doing that day.
Right. And I mean, with tire change, I'm gonna rephrase this to a category of soft services. Tire changes, lockouts, fuel deliveries, the 3 to 5 minute interactions. My always go to, and it's stupid and it's generic, but when I go to a flat tire, they're stressed, they're upset, they're delayed. You look at the tire and you're like, yeah, it's flat, but hey, I just think it's only flat on the bottom. Well, I mean, it looks like it's still got some air up there on top. And I shit you not, as stupid and generic as that is, it makes people laugh. I mean, look at look at Alaskan Tow Girl. I mean, as stupid and generic as that is, you know, it
There was that
works.
one day that you pulled up on a scene that I was at because those potholes over in Lehigh.
Oh yeah,
You and me were sitting there for freaking hours.
the
We were
one
both going up and down the road, just
Oh.
doing tire changes all night, and we both jumped that line many times.
they were doing construction on I-15. They were widening the road from 2 lanes to 6 lanes. It was like a 3-year process. Yeah. And there was a big pothole. And, you know, speeds are 65 miles an hour. You hit that pothole at 60 miles an hour, bam. Middle of winter, I mean, I shit you not, we had like 6 cars at a time lined up. And we would go up, and we get the 6 cars done, get the tire changes done. We'll get going, and then guess what? We get called back. And this happened for like, I don't know, it seemed like forever. I think we did that about 20 different times that day. And
I think we were out there for about 8 hours.
Every single time that I went up to a new customer, hey, it's flat on the bottom. At least it's only flat on the bottom. You know, top still has air in it. It's stupid. It's generic. I know this. But I shit you not, it works. It gets them to laugh. It gets them to think about it. Like, the fuck are you? Oh, you know?
Kitty.
Really, dude?
Ninja, you missed the spot.
He's over there fucking dancing with the pressure officer. Fuck.
My
I gotta dance
hero!
with someone. Or
Ninja,
if
get
it's a
your collies,
lockout,
too. Can't forget about those.
just be like, well, I think the way these odd devices work, they're supposed to be on the outside.
Yeah,
But that's okay. We can
right?
fix that.
You know, yeah, the keys are supposed to be out here with you when the car's locked. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that taken care of for you.
Exactly.
I can't because I've had some dumb situation with lockouts, man. I can't even get into that.
Oh man,
That's
it can't be as
that's
stupid.
a whole different.
Dude, it can't be as stupid as the one that I had, and Tow Girl will be my witness to this.
I'll beat you to it. I guarantee it.
I got a call out to Costco, and I was talking to Alaska Tow Girl. We had a 2A radio, and I'm sitting here getting ready to go to this lockout, and it was on like a Dodge Challenger. No, fuck, what was it? A Camaro. I think it was a Chevy Camaro convertible or something like that. It was a convertible nonetheless.
Nice soft top.
And the top was down, middle of summer, and the lady's like, "Hey, I left my keys in my car," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I says, "Well, what is it?" And she, explained the vehicle. I want to say it was a Camaro. And she's like, "Yeah, I left my keys in the car. I need your help to come get them." I says, "Okay, well, what is it?" And she's like, "Oh, it's a Chevy Camaro, yada yada yada." I'm like, "Okay." And so I roll up, and the only Camaro I see in that general area is a convertible. So I'm just flying by it, it's convertible, top stand. You can't lock your keys in it. Lo and behold, it was the convertible with the top down. And yes, Ninja, yes, that is the same look I gave her. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So what did I proceed to do? I leaned over, and as I'm reaching in, no, don't do that. The alarm's going to go off. And I says, "Ma'am, if I'm going to lock the car, your alarm's going to go off anyways." As I reach over, grab the key, and hit the unlock button. Say, "Here you go." Did I charge her for that? You're damn straight I did.
We were loud about that for the next 5 hours.
Dude, you cannot beat stupidity in this world anymore. It's just there.
It's job security.
Yeah.
It's job security, yes.
Yeah, like when you get a Jeep with a soft top and the kid left his keys in the side and it had the zipper on the outside. The kid locked his keys in his Jeep on the seat, and the keys are right there. I just literally opened the zipper, reached my hand and grabbed the keys and gave it to him. He was like, "I could have done that this whole time." And this kid waited literally 3 fucking hours for me to get out there.
Joe, wasn't that over at Superior during the winter storm?
It was over. Yeah, that's when I had to go to Arcadia.
I've got one that's even better. It was a Freightliner Cascadia over at Swift. The window was rolled down.
Swift, best in crash.
The guy waited about 4 hours for us to get out there, and his passenger window was rolled down.
Oh, I've had a couple times of their passenger doors unlocked, and I look in the window, and their passenger doors unlocked.
I can't say stupidity. I've locked my keys in my car 3 times in one day. I'm not even gonna say it, but at least it was an honest accident.
Yeah, didn't I have to come out and unlock
You
it the
know,
one time?
at least it's not
All
as bad
3
as what I
times.
did. I'll admit this, Danny. So you know what? This is for you not
It's
being able to
alright, I
hold this
was
over
up
my
at-
head anymore. So a lot of you guys know that have followed me on TikTok or have been friends for a while. I used to live out of a hotel.
Damn it!
I moved out of the hotel, and I honestly I lived in my tow truck for about 2 months to be able to save up enough money to be able to get where I'm at now. And I was literally, Danny, what was it, 3 days away from getting this place. A couple guys here in the community were nice enough to donate a little bit of money to get me into a hotel room. I'm like, sweet, a bed, sweet, cool. I was excited and exhausted, and I grabbed everything that I needed: my phone charger, my phone, pillows, blankets. Guess what I forgot? My keys. Locked the door, went up to the hotel room. I went to bed. I had a scheduled appointment to pick up some freight off of a semi and drop it down onto the ground. I leave the hotel room. I grab all my shit and I come down to the truck and I sit it on the bed of the truck. Mind you, it's a little cold. I'm not on duty yet. I'm not in uniform. I'm wearing a camoed fucking hoodie. At the time, I don't have any other drivers. It's just me. Okay? Just me. And I go to reach for the door handle and the door's locked. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, you know what? The keys are... Fuck. Nope, they're... Fuck. I went through everything. My jacket, my pants, my coveralls, everything. So I walk around and I look in the passenger side door and there's my fucking keys sitting in the ignition.
Hey, Judge. You remember that time I was on the side of off on I-15 and I locked the keys in the Yellow Devil?
Oh yeah. But hold on. It gets better. It gets better of how stupid I was this day. So, me not having anybody else to call to bring me either another set of keys or to come unlock my truck, I called the police department. Because the police department, some of you may know, some police departments will unlock your car for you. They have the same tools and equipment we do. The cop rolls up and he's like, well, what's up? And I says, well, see, this is a situation. He started questioning me every which way he could. And, who's the truck registered to? Who's the manager? And I'm like, dude, call the fucking number on the door. It's going to ring my phone. I got to go. Will you unlock the truck? He's like, well, do you got your ID on you? And I says, yeah, it's in the truck. So he unlocks the door. I get in the truck and my wallet's not there. I'm like, where the fuck's my wallet? Thinking that I'm trying to steal this truck. But I start the truck and I get it warmed up. Start searching everywhere for my wallet. It's not there. And he's like, all right, hold on. He calls the business number on the door. I answer it. And he's like, oh, yep, you're good to go. Have a nice day. But I'm still trying to figure out where my wallet's at. I left it in a hotel room that I just checked out of. So I had to go down to the front desk, get a new key made to go back up to get my wallet to be able to get to the scheduled call. I mean, we do some stupid shit too. Sam, what did you do, sir? What did you do, Sam?
At home.
I gotta stand up, gentlemen. Speaking of one of my new drivers, he's here now. So I'm gonna step away for a few minutes. I'm gonna let you guys have a general discussion. We got a couple of you guys that are watching us right now on YouTube that are here. If you guys see a comment pop up and I don't get back in time, feel free to go ahead and shout that person out, read their comment, and discuss about it. As it sits right now, we have about 5 more minutes. And it is open for discussion. So anything you guys want to bullshit about, as long as it's YouTube friendly, go ahead.
Danny has left the Danny has joined the channel.
Okay, bye. Hi, Danny.
I was about to say, geez, Danny. I see how it is.
My dude rage quit and rage joined. Oh.
I'm still here listening.
Alaska, you live in Alaska?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm from here. This is where I was born and raised.
Oh, dude, I could never live in a climate that just says fuck summer all day.
Well, if you want to know what the temperature is right now, it's actually in the negatives right now.
I know, because I follow Alaska, because I have a dream of going to Alaska, just not living there. Because, I like breathing
Well,
quality
I'm
air.
actually trying to get a group of co-ops up here for a freaking ice fishing trip.
Well, see, if I was going to go to Alaska, I'd be joining the fire department, because that's probably balls of steel for real, because your balls would be frozen to your leg.
Well, that's where you saw off after walking outside.
See, I follow Fairbanks for my weather app. Right now, it's negative 18 degrees, and that shit's insane. I go outside my door, I'm like, yeah, this shit's cold. They walk out the door, I'm like, just a mild day.
Third in command.
How is it out there, though? How is it out there, though? Like, the towing and everything like that, how is it?
It's not bad. There's some companies out here that are pretty big, pretty popular. That's tough to compete against. And starting out a company, it's a little harder because, of course, they've got the well-established business.
And you're not trying to wait for that business, and you're trying to gain that trust in people who've been working for other people, working with other companies for years.
Exactly. So I've been starting off trying to get contracts with the companies to do their light duty roadside. So it's a work in progress.
It just seems interesting. It's just that whole part of like towing in a climate that literally says screw everything, screw nature.
Well, just to give you an idea of what it is right now, as soon as this shit flips around, I don't know why I have to hit the camera twice. This is outside right now.
You can send some of that snow my way. I'll take it.
Hell yeah, bring it here.
I can't wait for the snow, man. I hate the cold.
Actually, wait.
Snow.
Let the twin line come back from the shop, then send it here.
Well, give me like a month and a half. I'm on light duty right now. Give me like a month or two. I'm on light duty right now, so I want to have some chance to play in it.
Well, if I send it to you right now, it's going to be around until June. Let's see how it is for us.
Some Thanksgiving.
What's that?
We're supposed to get snow Thanksgiving.
Well, luckily, Thanksgiving I'm supposed to be off, but I'm supposed to be going to Ben Salmons with my parents. What are you guys' plans for Thanksgiving? And don't you dare say Christmas, because I don't want to hear that shit yet. No one's ready.
Absolutely
nothing. I'm working.
I have no family plans for Thanksgiving. I cut my family out.
That's fair. Shit happens. Hey, Slowmo, if you're still watching, I want you to send that video to me, because I want to see what you did.
Well, Judge understands a little bit of my family history. My family typically doesn't talk to me unless they want something. So I finally just cut them out of my life.
My plans for Thanksgiving, my best friend,
I'll be right back,
over yonder on the flatbed. I'm not showing you shaking that. And my wonderful woman, who is also our nighttime dispatcher, all three of us are working on Thanksgiving. So, I might be bringing in a surprise for everyone.
Okay, JD's on there. Joe, what are you doing?
Probably just go to work, and in between work, just play fucking video games and stream on Twitch.
And
it's cold.
Okay, but why does it look like Judge is dancing right now?
It's one hell of a green screen.
Judge, are you dancing?
No, he's not. But, not gonna lie, so truck 32 of our fleet is probably the oldest light duty wrecker we have. She shines up pretty good. Not gonna lie. Little beat up and bruised, but.
Little 450?
Big.
Dodge 4500. I mean, the moose antlers.
Live broadcast?
What do you mean?
Where'd the comments show up at?
I don't know.
Right at the bottom?
They got the line of heavies. Actually, I think a few of our heavies are not here right now.
31's not here.
Oh, yeah. Where's 36?
36
Oh,
is right there.
Too bad the tater's not over here. That'd be a good one to put on the
Cold.
So what's the biggest flatbed y'all have, and low boys don't count, and landalls don't count?
My 22-foot international.
Fair enough.
That's currently sitting outside on the other side of my complex.
Triple axle or triple with drop?
Danny has
Single.
left the channel.
It's just a regular light
Danny
duty,
has
medium duty
joined the
rollback.
channel.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's cold.
Are you walking over there to 47, Arthur?
Yeah, because I'm standing right next to it.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Girls, ladies, gentlemen. So, without further ado, thank you guys for watching. It has been a fantastic 2 hours with you guys. We've gone over a lot. I will be reviewing the comments of this video once it's posted, and probably Thursday of next week, give you guys a week to think of comments, certain things like that. Please go ahead and post them. Give me a second. Let me answer the phone.
Arthur, before I leave, we gotta have a quick chit chat.
Uh-oh, Arthur's in trouble.
When am I not?
Not so much as in trouble.
What? Is he slacking for not listening to music and dancing on the tow truck?
Nah, that's more of his summer gig. I mean, y'all have seen his TikTok,
All right,
right?
ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, thank you guys for being here. It has been a fantastic stream. We have covered a lot this time around. Like I said, I will be reviewing the comments Thursday. Please, please, please think of questions. Think of subjects. Give us more content. Give us some ideas to go over next Friday. Remember, guys, as usual, we will be here every Friday night at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We might be a little bit late, depending on what it is, because, work does call. So without further ado, guys, leave comments, send us a message. I mean, as far as you guys know, maybe we'll pick one of you guys to interview in our next broadcast. You may never know. Get yourself known, stay loved, stay blessed. Be safe out there, everybody, and thank you for being here with the Tow Talk Break Room crew. Much love, everybody. See you next week.